Hey guys, it's Bree. I'm going to be doing my kind of June and July book haul with a fun bonus unboxing. So, a couple of exciting things happened to me this last month and a half. First, Rachel from Kalanati came over to where I live and we went book shopping together and we kind of spent the day doing fun stuff. And then I also went and I visited my grandparents, which necessitated flying. And if you know anything about flying and the average obsessive book reader, that means, of course, that I brought too many books and I purchased books in the airport in case I didn't like the too many books that I brought. So we will get started with the stuff that I got from when I was with Rachel. I have kind of a crazy bit of books. So the first thing is that Rachel was looking for some stuff by C.J. Cherryh, and I've never read any C.J. Cherryh, and so I asked her where to start. She picked out this one, The Fated Sun, Kesrith, for me. Get a load of that. Awesome cover. And I think this is about mercenaries. It's got a priestess queen, a fallen stronghold, all sorts of good stuff in it. So with that and Rachel's recommendation, I am looking forward to reading this one. I've been wanting to read some Andre Norton, so while we were at the bookstore, I picked some up. The first one I got was also written with P.M. Griffin, that's Firehand. I got The Lore of the Witch World and The Crossroads of Time. All three of these Andre Norton books are pretty small, and they are, of course, all in fantastic old mass market covers. I also picked up Naomi Novik's His Majesty's Dragon. This is Tamara Book 1. Everybody's been talking about how awesome this is, and I read Uprooted and thought it was pretty good. This is a Napoleonic War story with dragons, which is a lot of fun, and it kind of reminds me of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I haven't read this yet, but the concept strikes me as being kind of similar. I picked up The Curse of Shalian by Lois McMaster Bujold. This is another one that I have not read, and this is a series that Rachel said was a pretty good place to start with Miss McMaster Bujold. So I'm looking forward to that. I was kind of fortunate to find it in a nice floppy trade as opposed to the stiff mass markets that they had kind of lying all over the store. So I'm excited about this one too. And while we were there, I picked up Red Mars by Kim Stanley Robinson. I've been keeping an eye out for this since I saw Joe over at Final Blow Joe haul it, and I'm looking forward to reading that as well. The last thing I got while I was with Rachel was a used audio copy of Red Shirts by John Scalzi. This is performed by Wil Wheaton, who narrates a lot of John Scalzi stuff, and I've really been liking his narration. I think he has a pretty expressive voice. But also, I like John Scalzi, and I kind of like the idea of the Red Shirts plotline. It sounds like it's kind of a Star Trek story, but from the ensign's point of view, and I think that sounds fantastic. While I was in the bookstore going to visit my grandparents, I picked up a copy of The Iliad by Homer. I had just been reading The Philosopher Kings by Jo Walton, and I have been really kind of wanting to read more. She talks a lot about the Iliad and the Odyssey, and I've read the Odyssey, but I have not read the Iliad. This is the Robert Fagles translation, and he's kind of, from what I understand, the guy to be reading if you are looking for a good translation of Homer's works. And I picked up Paolo Bacigalupi's The Water Knife. This is an interesting concept too. It's kind of about the Southwest in America in a time when water becomes an extremely scarce resource. I have heard good and bad reviews of this, but I'm looking forward to it anyway. I just read his The Wind-Up Girl a couple of weeks back and thought it was interesting. I think I'd like his writing style well enough, even though I think maybe the plot of The Wind-Up Girl wasn't for me, so we'll see how I feel about this one. And then, time for an unboxing. So I actually know what's in this one. I know it's in both of these, I think. This is a pre-order I got from Amazon. And it is indeed Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. My mom was a study skills teacher in high school, and so I knew the To Kill a Mockingbird story by the time I was 5, and an edited version without, you know, the grown-up concepts, but a lot of the ideas in it were kind of introduced to my family at a young age, so we've been talking all about this. This is like the first book my mom has ever pre-ordered, and so I decided to get a copy and read along with her. And then, I don't know if you can see, we've got some random penguins up in here. I participate in a program called Blogging for Books, which is through Crown Publishing Group and also HarperCollins. And so I occasionally will get something sent to me for review. And I don't know if you saw that, but it is Armada by Ernest Cline. I just read his Ready Player One last month, and it was fun. It's definitely kind of a fan service type story, but enjoyable nonetheless. So I will be reading this one and reviewing it fairly soon. So now for the obligatory let's look at the books in a big stack. Here are the books I got in the months of June and July. If you have read any of these, let me know what you think. If there's a place that I absolutely should be starting and a book I should be reading absolutely hands down first, let me know that too. And I will talk to you later. I hope you're having a fantastic reading week.